Hello my friends, welcome back to another episode of Warriors Amongst Men, Spirit Amongst Flesh. My name is Sam and I help people to live the life they came here to live as a spiritual being having a human experience. And today's video we're going to talk about how to remove astral parasites. And this is a very important video as this world is nothing like it seems, and the more you find out about in this world, the more you realize how much you don't know and how complex this reality actually is. So what is an astral parasite? So obviously a parasite is something that feeds off of its host. Now astral parasites are everywhere in this dimension for reasons that I'll come to, but if you think about it, visible light, what you can see with your eyes, is only 0.005% of the electromagnetic spectrum. You can't see magnetic waves, you can't see Wi-Fi. There is so much going on beyond visible sight. You can't hear a dog whistle, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. The electromagnetic spectrum is only a small fraction of what is out there in the entire universe. There is vast amounts of life operating beyond frequencies that we can see, and that is why spirituality is more about feeling, right? It's more about the inner world, going in vision to see things, right? Because you're going to need your tools, you're going to need every superpower that is capable to human beings. You're going to have to work with angelic beings, guardians of the earth, etc. You're going to have to ask the Lord, God, you're gonna have to ask the Most High for help along this journey, right? And this sort of work that I'm speaking about today, removing astral parasites, is not something that you should take lightly. After this video, don't go out there and think that you're an exorcist and you can heal everyone, because this is not to be taken lightly, right? There is some very powerful beings out there, very intelligent demonic beings, right? They say that Satan will disguise himself as an angel of light, right? So you think you're working with angels, but really it could be some sort of demonic being. Now, if you have a demonic infestation, a very powerful being out there, then this video, right, it's not for that. We're going to talk about that in another video, but if you're going through that, then you need a real exorcist and get someone that with some experience that really knows what they're doing. Don't try and go this alone. However, today we're going to talk about lesser demons. Not even that. We're going to talk about astral beings. We're going to talk about astral parasites. Now, like I said, parasites are beings that feed off of their host. So these beings are very real, and they come in all various different shapes and sizes, right? I've seen them, as little black snakes, and they might just come as energy. They will come as something projected from your mind, right? Like, for example, someone might see an angelic being as, more human-like, right? But then someone, like a mathematician, might see the angelic being as sort of mathematical code, right? Someone like a Wiccan might see an angelic being as like an element of nature. Because an angelic being is a being that exists between existence and non-existence. So when it comes to removing astral parasites, the first job that we have as spiritual beings, right, as light workers on this planet, here to clean up some of the mess that's been caused, we need to find out what we are dealing with, right? Now, before you can help anyone else, you need to help yourself, right? What good am I to you and helping you become financially free if I'm not financially free myself? What good am I helping you remove astral parasites if I haven't removed my own astral parasites, right? Now, when it comes to astral parasites, right, they can come at you from anywhere, and they can come at you from different locations. You can pick them up when you go into a house where there's lots of toxic energy, and you can get them from different areas. If there's been some sort of murder take place in that area, there might be a lot of negative entities around in that place. So this is why you have to be careful of where you meditate. There's so much to talk about in this video, so I'm going to give you a brief understanding and a brief how to remove them as well, right? So when it comes to astral parasites and removing them, you have to understand what you're dealing with, right? So there's different astral parasites depending on what you're going through, right, and what they're going to be attracted to. Now, I've had an astral parasite come to me. I remember when I went to my girlfriend's mum's house and she wasn't there, and she had just had someone house sitting for them that was, you know, kind of a toxic person. Like, not that they were toxic, but they would participate in a lot of toxic things, right? We knew that they were watching porn in that house, and we knew that they were, you know, still eating meat, etc. So they were going against the 5 precepts, right? So first things first, when you're dealing with astral beings, you need to be clean within. So you have to have a pure heart. You have to follow the 5 precepts that I speak about in my video, how to raise your frequency, right? I've mentioned it in many videos. Because these beings, they feed off of their astral parasites depending on, you know, some of them feed off of sexual energy, some of them feed off of anger and violence, right? So when they're attached to you, they're going to make you have thoughts that are going to make you emit that frequency. So sometimes they even attach themselves to Reiki healers, right? So you'll be giving someone Reiki and you've got an astral parasite on your hand just absorbing all of that energy you're giving, and then they'll give you a little bit of energy back so you feel like you've done something, so that then you go back and do it again. So, you know, really be aware when it comes to this, because there are many different types out there. So the experience I had in this house is that person had left the house, me and my partner went to sleep at night, and I remember, like, I was having this dream and it was all such a pleasant dream. Then I felt this dark energy come across the room and I sort of saw it, and I thought, oh, I'll just open my heart, that'll make it go away. And I opened my heart, and then, stupid me, I didn't know much about it, and then it just came straight into my mouth, right? And I had such a good day the day before, and I was on it, I was, you know, making people laugh, and I was having a really fun, happy day, and things were going well. Then the next day, after having this experience where I absorbed the astral parasite in dream time, you know, whilst I was asleep, the next day I woke up and I had lots of toxic thoughts come into my head. And, you know, the thought, because these astral beings can affect your stream of thought patterns, right? So where are these thoughts coming from? Are they coming from source, or are they coming from astral parasites of beings around you? Because thoughts are things, right? Thoughts are going out into the atmosphere at all times. This is why spirituality is about being aware of where you're placing your focus. What are you giving your energy to, right? So you have to be aware. Sometimes if someone is suffering from an addiction, right, every time you smoke weed, you're emitting a frequency. And this is why I stopped smoking weed, because it's like, what's making me keep having this, you know, thought pattern? Why am I keep doing this reoccurring addiction? And most of the times it's because you are dealing with some sort of astral parasite, right? It's feeding off that frequency. So first things first, you need to know what sort of parasite you're dealing with, because that will change how you interact and remove the parasite, right? So first things first, know what parasite you're dealing with. The second thing is to, obviously, if you aren't capable of removing it, then you need to get some sort of exorcist. But what you need to do is make sure that you're sticking to the 5 principles so that you're pure and clean, right? And then when you've figured out what they're feeding off, stop participating in that act, right? If it's a sexual parasite, stop watching porn, stop participating in sex for a while and masturbation until you've removed that astral parasite, right? And even then, when you have removed it, don't just go straight back into doing all those things, because you're then just going to attract another one, right? So this is why the spiritual path is about being clean and pure. You got to stick to the 5 precepts, and you got to meditate, etc. You got to make sure that you're staying focused in your day, not feeding into negative energies. And obviously in the New Age movement, not many people even, you know, they think that negative entities aren't even real, right? They think they're just projections of your own mind. Whereas I can tell you that, you know, just like in our world, there's polarity, there's good and negative beings, just, you know, positive and negative energy. And there's positive and negative energy in the astral world also. So you got to know what you're dealing with. You might be dealing with a land spirits, you might just be dealing with a magical attack, a curse, a hex, you might be dealing with astral parasites or something much more intelligent. So when it comes to removing the astral parasites, right, obviously stop feeding them. You got to have awareness of them, stop feeding them. And then step number 3 is you have to learn how to go in vision, right? Your imagination is so much more powerful than we've been told. Even Albert Einstein said your imagination is, you know, the greatest superpower you have. It's a, you know, it's pretty much a weapon. It's not a weapon, but it's super powerful, right? You can use it and it's real. Whatever you're imagining, you're putting your energy there, right? You're literally making a etheric connection to that. So when it comes to using your visions, when it comes to removing astral parasites with your imagination, right, with using your vision, first thing to do is, you know, you need to really be ready if you're going to do this, right? But you need to you can use your imagination, get a candle, you have to go to the abyss, right? Light your candle, focus on it with your eyes closed, and then allow the candle to take you deep into the abyss, right? And when you're in the abyss, you ask the keeper of the abyss for a guardian to help you in removing astral parasites. And the keeper of the abyss will give you a guardian so that he'll help you in this removing process, right? And if you're dealing with one for yourself or with someone else, you might sit next to the person or just sit with yourself, and you've got to close your eyes and in vision feel where the energy is being drained from you. Feel where the astral parasite is. It might be in your liver, it might be in your heart area, in your brain, in your testicles, your ovaries, right? So you got to feel where it is. You got to be able to see it in your mind's eye, and you can even bag it up in your, you know, in your mind still. You're bagging it up, you're getting rid of it, and you're sending it to the abyss, right? That's one way to do it. However, that's quite advanced. So the other way, and I would do both of these if you can, the other way of doing it is doing a consecrated ritual bath, right? So what you do for this is you know, maybe you're doing it for someone else or for yourself, right? You run a nice bath, you get a candle, and in your mind you have to close your eyes and you've got to make sure that the candle is putting energy out into the abyss, right? In all directions, putting energy out into the abyss, into the void, right? And then you know, you get your salt water, right? You got to get water and you got to get some salt, and you've got to consecrate the energy of the salt and the water. So you can do some sort of prayer to make it more potent, right? So you've got your salt, put it in the water, and you can put your hand above the salt water, and you have to do some sort of prayer, right? And if you need a prayer, then, you know, a full written prayer, and you need further help with this, then contact me in the description below and I'll help you with it. However, a prayer has to be something like, you know, Lord, Father God, you know, Lord God, Father of the heavens above, Goddess, Mother Earth of the, you know, below my feet, purify this salt to purify the body, purify the water to purify my soul, and remove all negative entities, all astral parasites from this space. And, you know, amen, right? You need something like that. However, obviously I could write it a lot better if I was concentrating on just that. However, right, the use of salt is that salt absorbs negative energy, right? So always have some salt on you. It's good for clearing rooms, it's good for, you know, clearing negative energy when someone's come into your space that has lots of parasites on them. And obviously the water is the psychic element, so it helps amplify what the salt is doing. So it's going to help purify your body and soul. So what you're doing is you're then pour the salt. You want quite a lot of salt. Put all that in the bath, and then, you know, get in the bath, and you got to sort of meditate and in vision you're envisioning all the negative energy leaving your body and going into the bath, right? It's going into the salt, it's getting absorbed into the bath. And you lay in there for about 10 minutes until you feel like the ritual is complete. And then empty the bath whilst you're still in there, let all the water drain down the plug hole. And when it's draining away, you gotta imagine all that negative energy is going down the plug hole. And doing this not only allows you to overcome it mentally, but it allows your body to know that something is happening as well, right? Your body is going through the ritual as well as your mind and spirit. So this is how you remove astral parasites. But this only really works for, you know, well, it can work even for any of them, but it's not going to work on, you know, really intelligent demonic beings. You're going to need some help with this, and then do the ritual bath, consecrated ritual bath, after you've already removed it, just to get rid of the leftover energy that might be still in your body. So it's going to work for astral parasites, it's going to work, but it's not going to work for the super intelligent ones. You might need a little bit more help with that. But I've tried this before and it really helps. Also going out to the sea, right? You're going into the sea where the flowing water, and obviously there's lots of salt in the sea, so that every time I go to the beach and I'm in the sea, I do feel so much more cleansed and purified after doing that. So I recommend going to the beach, getting out of the house, you know, get rid of it out there. But after you've finished with all of this and you've tried to, you know, you've really removed an astral parasite, you still need to clean the house, and you know, make sure that you go around and you clear all the rooms, right? And you've got to do this with prayer and salt, so that's a whole video in itself. And if you would like I said, if you want any help with this, then the link is in the description below. And me and my partner have quite a lot of experience with this, and my partner, she's seen, you know, ghosts and parasites and all this sort of stuff. We've dealt with some crazy stuff already. All of her life she's been dealing with stuff like this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you. Don't take this stuff lightly just because you know how to do this stuff now. You know, don't go around trying to help everyone, because you need to be really, you know, on that high frequency of following the 5 precepts. Otherwise, you know, you're going to get one out of someone else and then it's just going to jump straight into you. It can also help, right, if you feel like you're getting a lot of thoughts put into your head by these negative beings, then it can help to do some sort of sigil in your mind, right? So imagine just energy going round in circles like this, so that any sort of beings trying to affect your thought patterns gets lost in the loop in your mind, rather than infiltrating your consciousness. So like I said, this is a massive subject and it's very vast. We could speak about this all day, and I'm probably going to do many more videos on this in the future. We're going to speak about, you know, angels and demons a bit more if you'd like to. But I hope this helps you guys. Try it out, see if it works for you. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, then please click that subscribe button. And thank you for watching. Until next time, peace and love, my friends.